Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the etrailer J-Style Kayak Carrier here on our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now guys, if you're looking for a way of getting your kayaks to your destination, of course, when you start looking at your kayak carriers, J-Style always going to be a great little option, especially with it being non-fixed. We can go ahead and bring this down when we actually get our kayak off. Now you're going to see a lot of great premium features that you might see on some of those high-end carriers without having to break the bank here. Now, of course, we're going to be missing just a few little key items that we'll break down later, but I think you guys are going to become a bigger fan of this kayak carrier just as we have become. Of course, one great little aspect of it, you are going to get this really nice strap kit that comes included, guys. Not only are we going to get these middle mounts here, but we are going to get our bow and stern straps, allowing us to make sure that our kayak is going to be tilting due to that wind as we are driving. Now, they are very important to get on there, as it really can start causing some damage if you don't have them. And I really like the kit. Not only is it going to be made of a nice fabric here, we also are going to get a nice little feature here. We're getting these little tie-down points. So a lot of times you have this extra strap, and a lot of other carriers, they just kind of bill around. You have to tie them yourself somewhere. Now, of course, a ponytail holder can pretty much do the trick, but it's just annoying to have to keep track of that all the time. Nice that that's stitched in, can hold that extra track. And the big thing for me with this strap kit as well, you are getting a nice little felt covering over your cam buckle. So not only is that going to prevent weather from getting that cam buckle a little bit, but it's really going to do a good job making sure we're not going to be doing any damage to our kayak as it's rubbing up against it, no friction being built up. And you know, accidents happen sometimes, guys. Maybe we go to take their kayak off, trying to get that strap and it falls down. If it was just all metal and crashed on our roof, could cause scratches and of course dents. Hopefully we can reduce that impact, reduce that damage overall that we're actually doing to our roof if it were to fall. 150 pounds capacity as well, guys. We should have a decent enough time getting most of our kayaks up on there. I'd be pretty hard pressed to find a kayak that couldn't. I'm sure one might be out there, but I think for most of us, for our weekend getaways, gonna have no trouble at all getting them to our destination. Well guys, let's go ahead and see how our bow and stern straps are put in place and start taking our kayak off. One awesome little thing about that strap kit too, one last little thing guys, you are getting these nice little commonly referred to as dog bones, these anchors, which is a little foam pad around them, give you a great little temporary attachment point. So we don't have an S hook where we're trying to fit in somewhere in our frame, potentially causing damage with that metal. All we have to do, throw this somewhere in our hood or our hatch where we're gonna get good access, pulling it down like so, and that'll give you a great little temporary mounting point to go ahead and start tying that down. Now, we've already got it tightened down here, so it's gonna be a little awkward to get it back installed. However, very, very easy to go ahead and slot this guy down, close that hood, and give yourself a mounting point. Well, now that we've got our bow and stern straps off, we can come right here to our middle straps. Again, that nice little nylon holder does a great job of holding all that extra strap in. Now let's take note of exactly how we have our straps here. So this is going to be our one end with our cam buckle, of course, our other end coming around here. So notice how we have it going both across our kayak. That way all that pressure is pushing us into the carrier. We don't want it to help pop out, of course, so everything pushing down is going to be great. So we do have both ends going across on that back bar. We'll kind of break that down in a little bit here, and then just simply around. Notice how it actually is underneath our crossbar system. Here we are just utilizing a rhino rack here today. That way we can take some of that upwards pressure off of our carrier, won't be messing with our mounting system. It just gives us a nice secure fit there. To take it off though, we just simply come right up to that cam buckle, press in, and start taking our strap out. Now that we're released, we just simply have to pull one in and pull it down towards us until our strap is released. Well, now that we have all our straps off, we can go ahead and take off our kayak here. Now, the Jeep a little high here, of course. Now I am 6'1", so keep that in mind. It's gonna be a little easier to do. If you do find yourself having a little bit of difficulty with this height, guys, and you're not quite liking how much you have to get over this carrier, I highly recommend taking a look at the Malone downloader and getting a look at their Telos Load Assist system. Now you will need a bit of a longer crossbar here, but it just gives you a nice little way of working your kayak. So if you're wondering or worried about getting your big heavy kayaks up on here, just keep that in mind, that can be a little solution. But all we want to do is simply push on the bottom of our kayak and actually get this to rotate towards us. I like catching the top of it, and really all the weight is still on our carrier here, guys. And that's going to go ahead and allow ourselves to get a good handle on the top and the bottom here and simply lift our kayak off. Now, to give you an idea of how to mount this, you will have to get over those posts. So that's kind of what I mean, where you do have a little bit of a height requirement to get these up on here. So just keep that in mind. Now that we have the kayak off, we go ahead and take a closer look at our carrier. Now, it is going to be made of aluminum as well, which makes it really lightweight and easy to throw up on here, but also we're not going to be worried about corrosion adding up over time. So what's nice, we can leave this on here for lengthy amounts of periods, even throughout the seasons. It's going to be holding up. Now, this marine foam up top at here as well is going to be able to allow itself to get wet, but also dry very quickly. So we're not going to have mildew buildup or anything like that. And of course, we are going to have just this little pad here at the bottom. Now, it does have this springiness in the middle, but time and time again, your kayak's just going to be really resting right here on these edges here. So you're not really going to get the full effect of this guy. Hopefully, it can combat a little bit on that springiness just with that bounce of the car, but you're really primarily going to really feel your kayak sitting right there on the edges for ourselves, guys. Now, of course, this isn't going to be a fixed style carrier, so we can go ahead and actually change this very, very quickly with just simply pulling down on our levers, allowing our integrated teeth to spin like so, and bring it back down. Well, let's go ahead and set it at its highest position here, just to give us a look at what our highest height we have to worry about. Now, you're probably going to be just a few inches shorter there, so keep that in mind. So from our roof bar here today to the very top is going to be putting us right at 17 and about 5/16 there, guys, as you guys can see, to the very top of that from the top of our roof bar system. But we can go ahead and quickly shorten that down. Maybe we need to pull in the garage, get through those drive-throughs wherever we might be. And I can go ahead, pop those back in place. And now our highest point is going to be that front of the carrier. And that is going to be putting us, just to give me an idea really quick, looks to be right at 4.5 inches there, guys, from our roof bar system. So keep in mind, also, your roof bar might be a little bit shorter or taller, depending on what you guys have. Now, you're not going to be increasing that by too much, but just keep in mind to compare it with your roof bar system. Well, we can actually see how it actually is mounted here too. So you can see we have these little hand knobs here and this flange mount. By simply backing off one of these knobs, we can swing this gate out of the way, get that lever back in a position, and start tightening down. Now, I will say the thicker crossbars you guys have, you might have a slight little issue. They're not the longest bolts out there, and even the threads on there are just a little bit inset on the middle of that plastic knob. So it can be really helpful when you are getting this set is to kind of sandwich that lever with your hand, that carrier and yourself, to try to pinch it together is really going to help you start getting those threads on. Now, once it starts threading, it becomes really easy to tighten it up. It'll cinch itself in, but just keep in mind it can be a little bit of a pain to actually get that started for its first point. Now, that kind of brings me to one caveat with this guy. I think the etrailer Kayak carrier gives you a lot of great advantages. The one thing it's sorely lacking is a locking system. So no way to make sure that this stays attached to our vehicle when we leave it unattended. And that kind of brings me to one point of, like, it can be a pain to take this on and off all the time. And that's really your only security measure. So if that's something you're worried about, take a look at the Yakima J-Lo. It's going to have a very easy mounting system that also allows you to lock it. That way you can leave it on your roof bar at any point. However, that's not something that really concerns us. Again, eTrailer is giving you a lot of great advantages. Well, guys, as you guys saw, getting a lot of great little advantages from the eTrailer Kayak carrier. I'm a very big fan of that strap kit. In fact, it's something we try to push on a lot of the different carriers you might see out there, just because you can get those tie-down anchors, and also I'm a big fan of the fabric, and that cam buckle felt covering does a great job preventing any kind of damage to our kayaks while it's on there. Again, though, guys, if you're looking for a couple different ways of getting your kayak up on there, definitely out there, but I think that this guy is going to do a great job. That aluminum means it's not going to be rusting, not going to have a bad time even sitting on there, and it's definitely going to get you your money's worth of getting your kayaks to wherever you're going to go. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the eTrailer J-Style Kayak carrier here on our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.